Boom! Welcome back, Gabe the Great, back here with another video, man. I hope you guys are feeling good. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm feeling good this morning. I feel like ever since I got done with the first part of my manifesto, I feel like it's opened up a lot of things in my heart, in my head. I've been able to do some healing, do some grieving, and really have a lot of breakthroughs the past few weeks. So it's been really good. I want to come and make a follow-up video on my video yesterday. The video I made yesterday was about Rodney Hinton Jr. and Luigi Mangione. And today I want to talk about how to prevent the crash out. And I feel like I am a expert on this, to be honest. I feel like I'm an expert on this. So let me tell you where I'm at in my situation and how it relates to these two. Very quickly, if you don't know anything about Luigi Mangione is being accused of murdering a healthcare CEO, and they're saying that he was motivated because I think a relative close to him was denied healthcare by their company, and you know, the CEO healthcare people make billions, and off of like denying us healthcare and while other people die. So he's being accused of murdering him. Rodney Hinton Jr., his son, was gunned down by a police officer, and the very next day Rodney took a car, ran over a deputy, and murdered him. And so these are two cases of crash outs. And so today I want to talk about how to prevent yourself from crashing out. So let me kind of say well, let me start with this. Number one, if you're about to crash out, if you are about to crash out, let me say this, okay? Let me acknowledge something that most people want to acknowledge. Your crash out is probably justified. Let me say that right now. Your crash out is probably justified. I talked about this in my last video. Health care. These people are supposed to provide care for our health. If we don't have health, we die. And they have used the healthcare industry to make profit. People literally die because these guys care about profit. So it only makes sense that they die because we care about life. If we care about life and these people are letting lives die because they want to make money, it's totally rational, reasonable, and logical to go, if we get rid of that person, more people can live, right? There's some justification in that. I know that's a very oversimplification, but that's the point. And I talk about this in my manifesto about how, like, complexity is control. Like, bad faith actors wanted to be, well, you got to understand that's not really going to, no. It is very black and white. If people who cared about profit over people learned that when they do that, their lives end, they stop caring about profit over people. Because why would I do that if the people are just going to kill me? Why would I put money over their lives if they're just going to kill me? Same thing with Rodney Hinton Jr., right? With Rodney Hinton, y'all took the life of my son, so now I'm taking your life. There's justification in that. And just because the law doesn't say that, it doesn't mean that. Here's how this relates to me. So for those of you guys who've been watching my channel, you guys know that back on August 31st, 2023, I received the worst phone call of my life. And I have 3 daughters. I have a 10-year-old, I have a 9-year-old, and I have a 3-year-old. And the 9-year-old is nonverbal and she's autistic. One, being a girl dad is like amazing. Highly recommend it, although I didn't have any control over it. I love being a girl dad, number one. But I mean, with any child, you know, you're concerned with how they're going to grow up in the world. And when you have a nonverbal and autistic child, you get really concerned, right? That's the number one thing you're afraid of. And I've had these conversations with my wife, with my baby mom, with, like, I've always said, yo, if I found out that something happened to her, I don't know what I would do. And I've had I've had conversations where it's like, hey, where, like, with family members that go, yo, if something ever happened to her, I need you to take care of the kids. And they've been like, yeah, I got you, bro. I totally understand. But on August 31st, I got that phone call. And I got the phone call that my daughter had been getting abused by her special education teacher. Her name's Paula McCown. It was at Charlemagne Elementary School between 2021 and 2023. And that was with underneath the 4J school district in Eugene, Oregon. I was told by 7 different EAs, educational assistants who work in the classrooms, that they never saw an IEP the whole 4 years that they worked in that classroom. They were not allowed to see the IEPs. They were not allowed to write anything negative in the communication folders. They were never trained about restraint and seclusion, right? They never received any training about this stuff. And that this teacher would make them illegally restrain and seclude these special needs children. And by the way, like, there are explicit laws about restraint and seclusion, right? And so it's one of these things where, and then they told me, right, the worst part, they told me that my daughter was being illegally restrained and getting verbally, physically, and emotionally abused every single day. And they said that out of all the kids in the classroom, my daughter got it the worst. And they said one of the reasons why my daughter got it the worst is because when Paula McCown, who was the special education teacher, when she would go to torture or abuse the other children, or torture or, great, now my videos, because I said the word abuse. YouTube's so stupid. See, profit. When companies care about profit, we can't even get the message out. We can't even talk plainly because profit. But when she would, mistreat the other kids, my daughter would stand up. My daughter she can't talk, but she knows how to, express her dissatisfaction, and she would go, and like that's her saying, like, you're doing, like, that's her yelling at you. That's her snapping at you. She go, and she knows it's a certain pitch that she knows exactly how to do it. It hits your ears a certain way. And she would do that, and so the teacher would then torture her and punish her, and she would put Maya in this thing they call the roundy round, which is a 48-inch space divider, and they would coil it around my daughter, or Paula would coil it around my daughter, and Maya would not be able to move, and she would have to sit there in darkness, right, because it's around her, so she couldn't see, and she would have to sit there in there, and they said she would just cry. She would just cry the whole time she was in there, 10, 20, sometimes up to 30 minutes at a time, 5 to 10 times a day. Like, they said there were days at school where my daughter spent the entire day in solitary confinement in that roundy round. Everyone who talked to me plus another person went and told the school district multiple times, multiple principals, because some of these EAs worked in this classroom for like 4 years, and so they told multiple principals. They told the school district. All of them emailed the superintendent. They had an internal investigation, and everybody who reported the teacher was fired, transferred, or forced to resign. Every single one. So I'm livid. I'm livid. This is my most vulnerable child, dog. my nonverbal autistic child. You are using my tax dollars to abuse my child. I drop my kid off at school every single day. You smile in my face. You tell me my daughter had a great day. Oh, we're so excited to see her, only to find out the mean, nasty, disrespectful shit that Paula was saying to my kid, only to find out that the school district was helping her cover it up. Crash out, my nigga? Because here's the thing about that. The woman who abused my daughter, half my size. Crash out? Come on, bro. There is not a single person I talked to that I felt like I couldn't whoop their ass. It's not a single one. All these people who help. Now, it gets worse. It gets worse. I go to get a lawyer. Find a lawyer. Trying to find out before I'm literally about to, I have the check for the retainer in my hand. I get there 15 minutes before her office closed. And in my gut said, Gabe, don't give her this, don't do it yet. And so I don't do it. And that night I went it was that weekend I had organized a protest. I organized a protest this weekend. And I stood on the corner. I had the teacher's face on a sign, like her name. It was Paula McCown abuses special needs kids at Charlemagne Elementary School. Like, we were on the busiest corner in the city. And so I had a protest that day. Well, one of the people who came to the protest was one of this lawyer's former clients. And she goes, hey, I used her because I had to sue the school district because my kid, she had a special needs kid that was abused by this school district too. She said, I've used this person before and I got a settlement, but I wasn't happy. And I later found out that this lawyer, she takes deals with the school district. So the school district will pay her a kickback to mediate. And I was like, that made sense because what my gut was telling me was I had borrowed the money from a family member to get the lawyer, and the family member had one condition. The family member said no settlement. No settlement. We want a trial. And I said, okay. And I remember I was talking to this lawyer, and this lawyer, when I was looking at their prices, how much they charge for an appeal, if they needed to appeal, it was like $25,000. And I remember she was talking about mediation. She says, oh, I prefer mediation. I was like, that's weird. Because out of one side of her mouth, she was telling me, oh, this is a big case. Oh my God, she was just rattling off. They can't do this. They can't. Yeah, I sue this school district all the time. And then this other person was like, oh, you got the best lawyer in town. She deals with these guys. Da, 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 da. I said, okay. Right? And so then I back out. I don't use that lawyer. Say, hey, I'm not gonna use it. Da, da, da. Couple months after that, I got a custody hearing, right? Because when we found out literally a week before school started, 2023, that our daughter was abused. Me and my ex-wife, we were divorced at this time, and she lives an hour away. And but all the kids, our two kids lived here with me, their younger sister, and my girlfriend. And when it happened, we both agreed to take our daughter out of that classroom, right? But we disagreed about where to go next. I wanted to homeschool her, right? I got a house. I got my girlfriend here. She's a stay-at-home mom, takes care of our daughter. Like, I said, hey, we could homeschool her here. My ex-wife didn't want to homeschool. She said, hey, let's just send her to a new school in the district. And I said, wait, But we just found out that the school district covered this up. Why would we send her to a new school, same school in the same school district? Just, oh, well, she can come up and go to school with me. I said, that's an hour away. So one kid's gonna go to school up there, one kid's gonna go to school down here. Oh, well, they both can come up to school with me. I said, wait a second. You just want me to give up my custody rights because our kid got abused? Like, what? And so now my ex-wife is using this opportunity to try to strong arm a custody situation. All right. So now I got a custody hearing a few months later. The judge at my custody hearing is the senior partner of the school district's law firm. Not making this up. This is public record. You can look it up. You can look this stuff up. I've made videos on it. You can go on the Facebook. Erin Finnerty. I'll say her name. Erin Finnerty. She's a senior partner at Louvis Cobb for the 4J school district. She was the judge for my custody hearing. The lawyer for my ex-wife uses the complaint because I sued the school district. Once I dropped that lawyer, I left that part out. I dropped that lawyer, and then I went and wrote a 106-page complaint suing the school district and 25 other individuals that I found out through the investigation who helped cover this up for $564 million in a federal court. It's currently in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals right now. It got dismissed. It got sealed, right, by a different judge. And right now, I appealed that to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. By the way, if I win that appeal, which I might not, but if I win that appeal is going to open up the courts for 60 million Americans. If I win this appeal, parents will now be able to represent their children in court, which is crazy that they can't do that right now, right? So if I win that appeal, that'll open up the courts for a bunch of different, for every parent in the Ninth Circuit Court, which is the largest circuit in the United States. But the lawyer for my wife uses the complaint against the school district, like, as evidence. Like, again, this is public record. Y'all can go see Exhibit 111. Not making this shit up. Exhibit 111 in my custody hearing, in my custody case, is the complaint, the 106-page complaint that I went to sue the school district. They argued that when me and my ex-wife couldn't figure out where to send our kid to school, again, she literally tried to get me to sign my custody rights away. She showed up, like, at my doorstep with papers, going, here, sign this. And then I didn't sign it. And so she was trying to use this as an opportunity to get the kids up there with her. And so they crafted this my ex-wife, the school district, and her lawyer crafted this whole narrative that I was not allowing our nonverbal autistic daughter to go to school because I had issues with the school district, right? Which was a total lie, because I signed my daughter up for homeschool like a couple months after we found out about her being abused. And actually, these guys are so lazy that to this day, my daughter is still signed up through homeschool through the Lane Educational Service District. Well, what ends up happening? I know this is getting kind of long. What ends up happening? That judge, who is a senior partner at the school district, takes my custody rights away. So I no longer have custody of my two oldest children. I can only see them 3 weekends of the month. And I got put on child support. Crash out? Crash out. You niggas want to talk to me about crash? Oh, no, wait. It gets worse. It gets fucking worse. My ex-wife, so my daughter, when you have a nonverbal autistic child, a lot of cities have, like, developmental services. And so my daughter had a DH or DSP, which is the designated service provider, right? Or person, which is someone that comes in and helps Maya, with life, because she's autistic nonverbal. Well, we worked it out to where my girlfriend, my living girlfriend, could take that role, right? And so it worked out perfectly. This was someone Maya trusted. It's money that comes into the household. Great. The second, I'm not joking, guys, the next month that my ex-wife gets full custody, she intentionally uses up all my daughter's hours. So we had it prior to this, and this is what's it's so crazy about this. Prior to this custody hearing, we literally split parenting time evenly. She had them from the 1st to the 15th. I had them from the 16th through the end of the month. It worked perfectly before she moved because we lived like a couple miles apart. The second she gets full custody, she uses 168 hours in 13 days because she was out of town for part of it, or 12 days. She used 168 hours in 12 days. She doesn't even tell us that she did it. My girlfriend works all her hours at the end of the month thinking, oh, I got hours. When it's time for her paycheck the next month, she doesn't get it. And she's like, where's my paycheck? And she's like, well, the mom used up all the hours. So I go, oh, she's already violating the parenting agreement. Perfect. I go back to court. Hey, she is committing fraud. First off, this is fraud. She is defrauding our daughter. These are our daughter's hours. These are not her hours. These legally belong to our daughter. They're designated for our daughter. And she there was no communication, guys. There was a whole month. And it's even more fucked up because she was talking back and forth with my girlfriend. They were talking back and forth like on a regular basis. And at no point did she say, hey, I'm going to use all the hours this month so you're not going to have them. Or, hey, can I use extra hours and we trade up? It was none of that. She was smiling in her face, asking her for help with the kids, this and that, and she used up all the hours and didn't say anything. I go to court and say, listen, she can't do this. Like, she knows that these are our daughter's hours. Judge Carlson, Lane County Courthouse, you know what he did? I brought evidence, right? Actual evidence of my ex-wife going 90 plus miles per hour with our kids in the car. I brought evidence. I literally brought a text message of a group chat between me, my ex-wife, and my girlfriend of my ex-wife saying the hours are now mine because I have custody. And then I brought the custody agreement where it says, no, she has to talk about these things in advance. She can't just do this. You know what Judge Carlson did? He crossed that part off of the exhibits and says, well, because there's a third party there that's not here in court, I can't use this. I can use what you said, but I can't use what she said. But I said, she's right there. She can just confirm. She literally just said that she sent this. Yeah, but since the third party's not here, I can't use this. I said, like, I watched him like bury evidence. Crash out. So what ends up happening from that? We end up losing our 5-bedroom or 4-bedroom house. We end up losing our 4-bedroom house. We got to downsize now too. We now live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Why? All because a group of people want to protect Paula McCown because she abuses special needs children. Crash out, bro. Crash out? Oh my gosh. You want to talk about a crash out? My daughter gets abused. I lose everything. The reason why I want to talk about this and the reason why it's so important is because I need you guys to understand that on the other side of not crashing out is a strength and a power that they can't fuck with. Notice how I said all these people's names. Notice how I said it with full faith. Notice how I said it with full confidence. I didn't say it with emotion. I said it like I was telling you what I had for breakfast. You know why? Because it's that easy. When you overcome the crash out, that's what power looks like. It just goes, if anybody I named in this video want to smoke in any way legally, let's go. In any way. But they won't. Because if they do, They know I got the evidence is on my side. See what you guys don't get. Bad guys don't want attention. Bad guys deal in darkness. Bad guys are dealing the details. So when you crash out, all the attention goes to your crash out. People aren't really focused on why you're crashing out. But if you stand firm and just go, hey, Paula McCown abuses special needs kids. Hey, the 4J school district, they help cover up child abuse. They use your tax dollars to cover up child abuse. Hey, Erin Finity, she will retaliate against you on behalf of her school district. Judge Carlson, he will modify evidence. He will suppress evidence. I can say that because I have transcripts, because I have phone calls, because I have exhibits. You know why I have all that? Because I did not crash out. I didn't crash out. And because I didn't crash out, I was able to philosophize my anger. You think I still don't hate these people? You think I'm still not angry? No, but and it's not that I've overcome anger. I've disciplined anger. I've disciplined hatred. I can now use hatred as a tool. I can now use anger as a weapon. It doesn't control me. So on the other side of not crashing out is this ability to look your ops in the eye and say, I'm outside, bro. If y'all want to go to the courtroom, if y'all want to go to the streets, if y'all want to go to the media, let's play. They don't want to play with me. They don't want to mess with me. Now, eventually they will, because I'm going to keep running my mouth. And eventually they're going to have to do something, because eventually it's going to get to the point where we can't just let this guy talk. But then they end up, it just works up in no matter what happens, they now have to do something extreme. They now have to do something extreme. But because I did not crash out, I've been able to leave my imprint on so many people. There's so many people on YouTube, or online, offline, that know about my daughter's story. So if something ever happened to me, and I've created a bunch of fail safes, I have a bunch of shit uploaded to the internet already, so that if something were to happen to me, all this shit's gonna come out anyway. I've already uploaded phone calls, transcripts, all that. Why? Because I did not crash out. I talked about this. The way the number one thing to prevent the crash out is, one, understanding your crash out is probably justified. The reason why I said that in the beginning is because when you're about to crash out, you need to hear you're not crazy. One of the reasons why we crash out is because we feel crazy. You guys can hear the phone call. The phone calls are uploaded on the internet. You guys can hear the phone calls. One of the first things I say is like, bro, this sounds like something out of a movie. It's like I could not believe my ears. There was no way. There's no fucking way. I dropped my kid off at school every day. And reminder, I grew up in a cult. So I've already been deceived by God. Now I'm getting tricked by my government. Bro, you need to hear someone say, bro, these people are fucked up. You need to hear somebody say, dog, if you crashed out right now, it will be justified. You need to hear that. When you're about to crash out, you need to hear somebody say, you're not crazy. What them people did was fucked up. So I'm going to give you this 72-hour rule. Okay? 72-hour rule. Okay? That first 24 hours, you want to crash out. You want to crash out. 100%. This is why I say when I got the news about my daughter, I worked. Work. Who else heard about this? Who else? I needed to work. And it was painful. Oh my gosh. I don't like listening to the phone calls because it takes me to a place that I just don't like being at. But I needed to do it. I needed to get all the data. I needed to get all the information. I needed to get everything, right? And part of that was me searching for justification of a crash out. I'll be honest with you. Part of that was like, all right, I gotta do something, but I need to know that when I throw my life away, it was worth it. But here's the second thing. So the first 24 hours, you want to crash out. Second 24 hours, You still want to crash out, but not as much. By day 3, you still want to crash out, but now you can begin to think. 72 hours. Notice Rodney Hinton Jr., when did he crash out? The next day. I promise if he would have waited the weekend, he wouldn't have crashed out. He wouldn't have did it the next week. He wouldn't have did it the next week. The thing about overcoming one crash out is once you know how to philosophize and discipline your anger and your hatred, it becomes easier next time. So when I first got news about my daughter getting abused, totally wanted to crash out. But because I didn't crash out, when a few months later came and I lost custody of my kids, I didn't want to crash out. I was angry. I was more hurt because I'm losing my kids for standing up for them. I'm losing my kids because my ex-wife is taking the side of our daughter's abuser. That's why I'm losing my kids. I'm not losing my kids because I'm abusive. I'm not losing my kids because I don't care. I'm being put on child support. I gotta pay the government money every month now because I stood up for my kids. Oh, I wanted to crash out more, but I didn't sense it as much. I got myself straight through it. Oh, then a couple months later, when my ex-wife essentially takes my girlfriend's job and food out of all of our kids' mouth, our daughter's longest running DSP, for no other reason other than spite. Oh, yeah, but I had already, this time I was more angry about that, but I wanted to crash out less. And this is what happens. We live in a society that I say this all the time. There is no place in society that is acceptable to be angry as a man. There are only 2 places, the football field or the octagon. That's the only place men can be angry. If we're not entertaining you motherfuckers, we can't express anger. And yes, some of that is patriarchy, some of that is whatever. But when you overcome a crash out, you begin to harness anger. And you begin to understand anger. And you begin you now are able to articulate it at a level that your ops will never be able to. So if we ever do get that, I'm smoking these niggas. Whatever arena they want to fuck with me in, I'm smoking these niggas at. If they want to go the legal route, I'm not hiring a lawyer. I'm smoking these niggas legally. I'm smoking them. They will not out-argue me. They will not out-litigate me. They will not out-research me. They will not bury me in paperwork more than I will bury them in paperwork. Whatever they want to do, I'm here. Why? Because now I have a bank of experience that I can go to. Now I can go back to go, oh, I know when you push me, I won't go over the edge. When you abused my kid, you pushed me, but I didn't go over the edge. When you took my kids away from me, you pushed me, but I didn't go over the edge. When my ex-wife was violating the custody agreement because you gave her power and you didn't do anything about it, you pushed me, but I didn't crash out. When I lost my house, the first time I lived, I grew up in the hood with roaches in my apartment. Guys, the first time I lived in a house was 30 years old when I could afford it myself. I was so proud of me for getting that house. I worked so hard. There were so many nights where the only thing I could do was afford my house, but I was so proud of it. I was so proud that my kids were not gonna know poverty. I was so happy, bro. I was so happy every day I could come home when my kids are happy to live in their house. As someone who grew up in a negligent, abusive household, to see my daughters enjoy where they live, to watch them in the backyard, jump on the trampoline, play with the dogs and bro, y'all don't understand. When I lost my house, it broke me. It destroyed me. But guess what, nigga? I didn't crash out. Now I know for a fact, you can push me. And I'm not gonna break. But we don't know what's gonna happen if I push you. This is why you don't crash out. No matter what happens to me, Maya Bella's legacy is on the internet. No matter what happens to me, the Overman manifestos exist. No matter what happens to me, the song Mercy for Maya and that music video exists. No matter what happens to me, the transcripts are archived on the internet. No matter what happens to me, people will know what took place at Charlemagne Elementary School. Why? Because I didn't crash out. I didn't crash out. So I've been able to create content. I've been able to keep going. I've been able to keep going and keep going and keep going. And guess what? Now I'm becoming a threat. Because here's what a lot of people don't understand about evil people. Here's what people do not understand about evil people. Everybody ain't as evil as the most evil person. So when I went and sued 26 people, here's what I know that them motherfuckers don't know. The most evil motherfucker amongst them will do some fucked up, heinous shit. About 23 of them niggas are just pussy. About 23 of them niggas, they just trying to keep their job. About 23 of them niggas just don't want to ruffle feathers. Awesome. Perfect. You made your bed, though. Because we now know if you push Gabe to grave, he ain't breaking. He ain't going to crash out. He ain't going to put hands on nobody. He ain't going to do nothing extreme. You can take his kids away from him. You can put him on child support. You can gaslight him. You can lie to him. You can manipulate him. You can make his life more expensive. He ain't crashing out, though. There's a faith, a confidence, a strength from being able to harness your anger, to be able to live with anger and not be hurt, to be able to live to be able to hate righteously. I hate these niggas. No, bro, my conviction. I can stand on my conviction. I can now tell the world why these people do not deserve to have existence. No. I'm not gonna go put hands on them. I'm not gonna go threaten their lives. No. I'm gonna go talk. I'm gonna go talk about why. Judges like Erin Finnerty, judges like her, they not only do they not deserve the bench, they do not deserve to exist in our society. They don't deserve it because we gave them power. We gave them power and they intentionally destroyed families. I told Erin Finnerty to her face that, again, these are legal, these are public record. Look it up for your motherfucking self. I told her that my 3-year-old has night terrors when she's away from her daughter or from her older sisters. Every fucking week for the past year, my 3-year-old has been screaming her sister's names at night because she misses them. An innocent, my oldest daughter went from being the most popular kid in school to being called a bitch by some white girl at school, and the teacher's not doing nothing about it. Why? Because Erin Finnerty wanted to protect her client. I can now stand here 10 toes down and say, because I got the public record, because I didn't crash out, because if any motherfucker want anything to say to me, I got receipts. You hold the crash out in, boys. You hold that crash out. You go get your receipts. You go get your receipts. Don't let them take your freedom. You tell them pussy ass niggas, if you want to take my freedom, bring your bitch ass right here. You not doing it silently, and you not doing it behind my back. Bring your bitch ass right here. I'm still here, nigga. After everything they did to me and my family, niggas still writing. Niggas still making music. Niggas still fucking a beautiful girl when he get home. Niggas still taking care of his kids. Kids still love him. I play hoops with my daughters all the time. With me and my youngest girl, we bonding over basketball. My oldest girl done started her own YouTube channel. My nigga, I'm here, bro. I didn't crash out. 1, your crash out is justified. 2, take 72 hours. 3, go get receipts. Go get receipts. 4, talk yo shit. Fuck it. Talk your shit. Tell 4J send the defamation suit for this video. Tell Paula McCown send the defamation suit for this video. Tell Aaron Finn, tell them to use whatever legal gymnastics they want. I want them to go get the best motherfucking lawyers this country can buy. Let's manipulate. Let's weaponize the legal system. Come on, boys. Let's weaponize the legal system against one another. See, because when you do something extreme, you gonna lose your life. But when you say extreme shit, you get attention. And if you can follow that attention up with receipts, crash out. Oh no. 330 million people can do way more damage than Gabe the Great can. I know that. That's what I know. That's what I know. What I fucking know is we got a president that thinks it's cute to troll. Oh shit. What I know is we got a president going after activist judges. Oh shit. Oh my fucking God. Not an activist judge breaking the law. But if I crashed out in 2023, guys, I wouldn't be here. If I crashed out in 2024, I wouldn't get to be in this climate. Come on. Don't crash out, dog. Outlast these niggas. Because no matter what happens to me from here on out, it's all up here. It's legacy now, boys. We playing for legacy. Cool. You up 1, bro. Check ball up top. You got my daughter, you got my family, check ball up top. At the end of the day, check ball, nigga. Run it back. Check ball. The game is to 11. You only up 4-0. Check ball, nigga. I want Paula McCown to check ball. I want Seth Feflin to check ball. I want Andy Dye to check ball. I want Aaron Finnerty to check ball. I want the 4J school district to check ball because I didn't crash out. I made content. I got receipts. Hold your crash out. Discipline that anger. Discipline that anger. Right? Discipline that anger. Discipline that hatred. Turn them into weapons. Turn them into instruments. We are going for legacy. When someone messes with your child, they're messing with your legacy. You don't leave us money. You don't leave us buildings. You leave us your children. When people strip Maya Bella Reed of her dignity, they're messing with my legacy. All right, cool. Aaron Finnerty is drunk, high, and or stupid if she think I'm not going to have a say in her legacy. Paula McCown is drunk, high, and or stupid if she think I'm not going to have a say in her legacy. Andy Dye, Seth Feflin, the 4J school district, y'all are drunk, high, and or stupid if you think I'm not going to have a say in your legacy. But y'all don't want smoke over here because every ounce of smoke goes back to the receipts, and the receipts are all over the internet. They are all over the place. They're archived. They're archived. They'll be there forever. They'll be there forever. They can't run from it. But if I would have crashed out, it would have been a story. It would have been a story you scrolled through. It would have been it. A lot of people don't crash out. We don't talk about them no more. Nah. I'm not about to be content so you niggas can make profit. You niggas are not about to exploit my family's trauma. If anybody's gonna make a come up off the pain me and my family went through, it's gonna be my family. But my family can't experience that come up if I crash out. So you gotta keep it cool. You don't have to keep it cool. You do have to grieve, and you do have to give yourself time to grieve. That's another one I want to say. I'll kind of close out there. You gotta grieve your shit, man. You need to cry. Cry. That shit hurt, bro. That shit hurt. I wouldn't be able to yell with this type of passion if I didn't cry. You need to cry, bro. That shit hurt. That shit that you weren't supposed to go through that. Those are totally evil people. Yeah. You need to grieve that shit. You need to grieve that shit. All right? That's gonna help you when you're ready to think again. I had many times where I couldn't even cry. I was just making noises, dog. There were times I was just making noises. There were times but you got to do it. You got to give you have to give your space to feel those emotions. All right. Well, this video was really long, man. I really hope that helped you guys. I don't know if it will. I don't even know if people are going to watch it all the way through. But hey, man, we going to be like, don't crash out. All right? I want you to know, 1, your crash out is probably justified. 2, wait 72 hours. 3, go get your receipts. 4, talk your shit unapologetically. Because anything I say right now, if my crash out was justified, if society would have came and been like, if I would have did something and society would have been like they do with Luigi and Rodney, oh man, we need to put money on his books. Okay, so y'all would approve if some bad shit happened to these people? Okay, cool. I just want to be alive to see it happen. I'm not gonna do it. I just want to be alive to see it happen. What's the point of a crash out if you don't get to live to talk about the crash out? Nah. We outside. All right, love you guys. Bye.